Hello, 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 hello. We are live. Hello, students. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are all hearing me loud and clear today. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hello. Oh my goodness. We got a lot to cover today. Hope you are all enjoying the new video that just came out today on the YouTube. Check out all the highlights there in previous streams and stuff before this whole thing was an episodic adventure. Oh, oh my goodness. I'm so excited about this. I've actually had this subject planned, man, since before I was even trying to like conceive this as like a show back when like I was scheduled on one like for when I was scheduled at 7, when back when I was actually on a CRTV, not this beautiful um thing right here. Oh man, there was a lot. There was a lot to it, and it was quite amazing. I honestly had so much fun, and I'm so excited on diving into what we're going to be talking about today. And like some of it's going to be scary, some of it's going to be interesting, some of it's going to be very intriguing. We're like this is one of those subjects where I think we're actually going to dive in and actually learn about something. I'm super excited about it. I'm motivated on it. And of course, if the title hasn't really spoiled it yet, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be learning about the Mariana Trench. That is right. Oh my goodness, there's so much that really can be shown about what is down in there, what formed it, what is coexisting along with it. I pulled a lot of very interesting conversations from it. What was it? And of course, like how, and again, if you're brand new here, basically what we do, we spend 2.5 hours on a subject, and we kind of center around it and try to deep dive into it, into a fever dream of researching, making fun of stuff, and just diving into other parts. That is kind of what essentially we do around here. And through me learning it, you are also taught with it, hopefully in the more entertaining factor of it. And of course, with a lot of yelling and somewhat swearing. I'm trying to like calm it down a bit, but I can't I can't promise anything. But so again, last week we talked about sharks. Okay, we dove into this main predator of the ocean, and like a specific part of me wanted to continue the ocean vibe, and of course I totally thought this was supposed to be um this was supposed to be a Shark Week. Turns out I am practically almost a whole month off, so yeah, my bad. Yeah, totally off the marker on that one, but we're still working on it. But with this, there's a lot of speculation going up between it. Of course, you have directors diving into this thing, and um, basically, like without even discussing the ocean, like everyone knows about the Mariana Trench, and I believe, let me like get a little bit of confirmation right now. How much has let's like we'll start off on our first question. How I'm on like all caps here. How much of the ocean has been explored? Look at that. Google, thank you for listening. Get the fuck out of here. No way. That can't be right. Right? Is this the latest? More than 8% of our ocean is unmapped, unobserved, and more than 80%. Google is immediately popping up. Holy. You're telling me, you're telling me that we're fucking 5%, just 5% of the Earth's oceans has been explored and charted, especially the ocean below the surface. The rest remains undiscovered and unseen by humans. Get the fuck out of here. You can't like I don't think you're allowed to do that. Like are they allowed to do that? Can they just say stuff like that? Like that's not cool. Like you're not allowed to do that. Holy shit. I thought it was way more. I thought it was still low, but I thought we were like at maybe like 18% minimum. Not like damn, we were way off. I thought we were at least hitting double digits. This is like what's the worldwide boat? Ocean versus space. Well, of course we that's just an argument that just can't happen. How could our oceans contain more mysteries than outer space? Holy shit. I mean, sorry, I don't want to drive off the topic. We're still going to go back to Mariana Trench, but like I'm just still baffled on just like why do we know so little about our oceans? Haven't and why haven't scientists explored 95% of them? Well, there are two reasons. Brian, let's figure this out. No, we're gonna go head right into this. What?
Ocean versus.
Brian, right here.
Well, there are two reasons ocean exploration is so difficult. For starters, the technology used to chart the oceans and ocean floors is relatively new. Ocean satellites, scientific buoys, deep-sea submarines, and advanced sonar have only been used in ocean exploration for the last 50-plus years.
What? So, like, are you telling me that space exploration billionaires are more likely to have a cockfight up in space, but like we can't even touch the tip with just the ocean? Like, holy shit, people! Like, I mean, we got Comcast giving me Wi-Fi. I can't. But God forbid we try to send a submarine down in the ocean. I feel I'm. Let me just be capitalist for a second. I mean, you're telling me that we have a little bit of untouched potential here. I'm just saying. Like, I just like that, and we only been exploring there for 50. I feel like I mean, technically, like the surface is well explored, but I guess the depths is where you kind of get an interesting bit. That's fucking crazy. Why don't like? Oh my gosh. Okay. There's a lot of questions going in. All right.
And as this technology improves, scientists have been able to discover more of the oceans and map a greater percentage of the ocean's floors. Yet, even with technology improving, there is still a major challenge, and that's that the ocean is so vast. Consider this: at its deepest the ocean is 7 miles deep. This abyss is located in an area near Guam known as the Mariana Trench, which is located near many popular yacht charter destinations. In other words, under the surface the oceans contain about 99% of livable space on the planet, and it's this area below the surface that scientists know very little about. So why is underwater ocean exploration so difficult?
Wait. So, in other words, under the surface, the ocean contains a 99% of livable space. What?
In other words, under the surface the oceans contain about 90.
Hold up, Brian. Hold up, Brian. I just, we'll get to Mariana Trench, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't just throw this on me. You can't just tell me that we've only discovered 5% of the ocean and then tell me 99% of it is livable. What? Who are NASA's Earth explorers? The elementary school student wondering I guess. What makes so special Galapagos so special? What was one of the most memorable trips? Oh, when did you begin to see yourself pursuing? Why is it so important to study the ocean?
Earth is really an ocean planet. Life on land exists in this thin layer that begins a few feet below the surface of the soil and extends up into the tops of the trees. But in the ocean,
Okay, since I guess we're just gonna lose our minds here for a second. What is happening right now? No, I guess. All right. So, okay, is it really? Oh, now you're recognizing it? Whatever.
it's really a hard place to work. In many ways,
Okay. Earth is really an ocean plan. Okay. Here we go. We'll hit this bit and then we'll go back.
why is it important to study the oceans? Earth is really an ocean planet. Life on land exists in this thin layer that begins a few feet below the surface of the soil and extends up into the tops of the trees. But in the ocean, life is found all the way from the surface to the very bottom of the deepest part. The deepest part of the ocean is nearly 7.5 miles down. Because of this, the oceans contain 99% of the living space on the planet. How much do we know about the oceans? Our knowledge about the ocean.
Oh, because of how deep it is. Because, like, what was it? I guess, like, what's the tallest, the highest? Mount Everest. How tall is Mount Everest? I think there was like something talking about how you can fit, I guess, like how many miles. Yeah. How many miles? Oh, you have 2 miles to spare. And that's our tallest mountain. Our highest point is in Hawaii. But, um, fuck me, all
How
right.
much do we know about the oceans? Our knowledge about the oceans and technology to study the oceans these days is so much more than they were when I was in school. Back then, the most common way to sample the ocean was to drag a net through the water and see what was caught. Or you could lower some bottles over the side and pull the water up to see what it contained. There were no satellites studying the oceans. But even with all the technology that we have today, satellites, buoys, underwater vehicles and ship tracks, we have better maps of the surface of Mars and the Moon than we do the bottom of the ocean. We know very, very little about most of the ocean. This is especially true for the middle and deeper parts far away from the coasts.
I'm baffled. I'm in shock. I did not know this. I had no idea that like so much of the ocean has been untouched. And we're just hitting what? Not even a percent of it? Not even, I would say, a fraction of a percent. The Mariana Trench, the deepest part. Oh, all right. Okay, let's remain professional here. All right, let's get right to it. Let's get right on it. Okay, I even got some. Let's see. We got to get a nice little ocean beats. Yeah, you got that ocean beat going. Nice. Oh yeah. All right, Brian. Tell us what's
Mariana
up.
Trench. From Simple English Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. The Mariana Trench is the deepest known submarine trench. It is also the deepest known location on Earth itself. It lies south and east of the Mariana Islands, and has a depth up to 10,971 meters, 7 miles. The western
Jesus.
end of the trench is near Guam. The trench is about 2,550 kilometers, 1,580 miles, long but has a mean width of only 69 kilometers, 43 miles. Challenger Deep. The deepest part of the trench is known as the Challenger Deep. It is named after the British Royal Navy survey ship HMS Challenger, whose expedition of 1872-76 made the first recordings of its depth. A 2009 sonar mapping of the Challenger Challenger Deep from the Kilo Moana found a spot with a depth of 10,971 meters, 35,994 feet, 6.82 miles. The sonar system has an accuracy of better than 0.2% of water depth. Water pressure is more than 1,000 times as great as at the surface. The Challenger Deep has been reached 4 times by submersibles, namely the manned Bathurst Triton on the 23rd of January 1960, the unmanned robotic deep-sea probes Keiko, Japanese, in 1995 and Noops. The Challenger Deep has been reached 4 times by submersibles, namely the manned Bathurst Triton on the 23rd of January 1960, the unmanned robotic deep-sea probes Keiko, Japanese, in 1995 and Noops, US, in 2009, and by James Cameron in the Deep-Sea Challenger on 26th of March, 2012. Cameron was able to film a 3D movie of the bottom of the trench.
Like, there it is. That is the pinnacle of American capitalism right there, baby. All right, you pay enough money and stuff like that, you'll reach science. Like, you'll reach where scientists are. I mean, literally, we got guys going into space trying to bang, and then we got Cameron over here seeing. I mean, but honestly, that's more like, granted, for Cameron, that's cooler. I'm cool with Cameron trying to go to the bottom of the ocean, all right? That's fine. I think that's pretty cheap. I wonder, do we have a... Do we got a... How much? Help me out here. Google. How much... Hello. Come on. What happened? I thought I could maybe turn on my little voicey here. Okay, never mind. I was trying to be fancy with it. I guess I can't. All right, fine then. Here, let's... There you go. That way you guys can see it. Okay. How much would it cost to see the Challenger? Is it called the Challenger? Challenger Deep. To go to the Challenger Deep. Cost to go to the Challenger Deep. For $750,000, you could visit Challenger. We got it. We got the goal, baby. If this hits hard. If we actually get going somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. The whitelist, my ads funds are awesome content. Oh, fuck off. Ah, damn it. Okay. Fine. All right. I'll allow it for this site. Because I want to know. I have to know. Like, what... I have to know. You're telling me for $750K, we can go to the deepest part in the ocean. For a small loan of $750K, I can make my way. Students, I'm just asking. Hold on, let me get my music. I need my music. I need my music. I need my music. Students, I am asking for a simple donation of $750,000. For this, we can go to the deepest, and I'm talking the deepest parts of the ocean. And that way I can be the deepest content creator ever. Alright, some will rise to space, but me, I shall rise in the deep. This has been your teacher speaking. I was like, no. This message has been brought to you by Guns for Arms. We don't like guns, but if you had guns for arms, that'd be kind of cool. Surgery costs $7,000 per arm. Happy shooting. Oh, hell no. You're telling, like, I couldn't. I'm just asking for a simple loan, that's all. We got notifications going up. That is crazy. That is crazy. In little more than a century, we humans. Okay. Yeah, let's figure this out. Brian, tell us what we're missing
For
here.
$750,000, you could visit Challenger Deep, the deepest point on Earth. In little more than a century, we humans have figured out how to make the most death-defying, bucket list-worthy experiences relatively safe. With only a sense of adventure, a modest level of physical fitness, and the right disposable income, ordinary folk can explore Mount Everest, journey to Mars, and even vacation aboard the International Space Station. Now, one luxury expedition travel company is promising a much deeper experience, literally. Airs Expeditions. This June, Airs Expeditions is offering the first ever opportunity for well-heeled travelers to visit the deepest part of Earth's oceans. The one-of-a-kind expedition will journey 35,853 feet down to Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. Paying travelers will spend roughly 8 days as mission specialists, although no actual work will be required, with the Ring of Fire expedition.
I was about to say, like, I just sold my ranch so I can get down to the deepest bottom, because, for me, oh God, I can just see it. I can see it, just someone, like, going down into the depths. Just like, hold up. I wonder if I can measure this 7 miles. Let me go ahead and try. Zip. I can't, like, some asshole, like, already just to make a dick joke. Just like, 7 miles. Let me find that out. Motherfucker, you do not have a 7-mile penis, okay? You would die from blood loss. Okay, just stop that. Fuck me, you're telling me we can go? But don't worry. No work will be required from you, okay? So please, just sit back, relax, and have a good time.
The submarine dives will last as much as 14 hours. The one-way descent covers more than 7 miles and takes more than 4 hours. The crew will spend another 4 hours exploring the bottom of the Pacific Ocean before beginning the more than 4-hour ascent back to the surface. Those expeditions teamed up with Caladon Oceanic to use the company's flagship limiting factor submersible. The undersea vessel features a 90mm thick titanium shell that's been pressure tested to nearly 46,000 feet with zero physiological stresses. It has already descended the Mariana Trench 5 times and is among the world's only submersibles capable of multiple dives to that depth. Airs Expeditions. Because of this near crush-proof design, passengers experience no change in atmosphere. Airs claims the sub's interior is actually quite peaceful and relaxing. Mission specialists can kick back in one of 2 comfortable seats and take in the underwater scenery via 3 large viewports or multiple high-definition surround cameras. They will serve as fully integrated crew members who can oversee research work, help with film production, assist with sonar navigation, or do nothing at all. To visit Challenger Deep is a rare experience indeed. Those expeditions founding partner Rob McCallum confirms, this is the most exclusive destination on Earth. Currently, only 3 manned expeditions have ever been made to the bottom of Challenger Deep, and more people have been to the moon than to the bottom of the ocean.
Like, I can imagine this shit being like literally just Yeah, no, if you turn to the left here, you'll be able to see some darkness. Like, yeah. You see anything? No, I don't see jack shit, all right? Light doesn't travel this far down here. Well, I mean, all right. I mean, and how deep are like we're like 7 miles deep. I mean, are you sure about that? I think I could figure it out. Just like, okay, okay. Like, I couldn't imagine that. Like that's how it is, right? There's no light. You're just sitting there in dark.
The number of humans who have reached Challenger Deep, just 7. Airs expeditions. This once-in-a-lifetime experience is available for $750,000. Those expeditions is only accepting 3 mission specialists on a first-come first-served basis. If you'd rather explore the oceans on your own, the Triton 1000 Toomki personal submarine is available for the low price of $2.7 million. If you'd rather
Get the fuck out of here. No. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This Triton submarine is underwater toy your super yacht has been waiting for. Oh, hell no. Look at this thing. That's straight up out of Spy Kids, I swear to God. Chat, students, if we can get funded for our school, first, if we could just make one point, what was it again? Huh? Just a, just a, just a small loan. Listen here, students. I'm just asking for a small loan, just so I can take a ride into the ocean depths and see this earth. Just a small loan of $2.7 million. We can take that from the taxpayers' money. We'll have a good time. I'll have fresh content. 4 hours, just deep diving. We could do it. Not for just America, but for the world. I mean, look how cool this son of a bitch is. I think it's the greatest thing in the whole goddamn world. Oh my God. Damn, my 7-mile penis is getting hard. Okay. Oh my. Holy shit, we haven't even touched the... Okay, let's get back. Oh my God, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. All right. Brian, please save us.
Mariana Trench. Life forms. The HMS Challenger expedition found radial area in the 2 dredged samples taken when the Challenger Deep was first discovered. On their 1960 descent, the crew of the Trieste noted that the floor consisted of diatomaceous and reported observing some type of flatfish, resembling a sole, about 1 foot long and 6 inches across lying on the seabed. The report has since been questioned, with suggestions that it may have been a sea cucumber. The video camera on board the Keiko probe spotted a sea cucumber, a scale worm and a shrimp at the bottom. At the bottom of the Challenger Deep, the Naruse probe spotted 1 polychaete worm about 1 inch long. An analysis of the sediment samples collected by Keiko found large numbers of simple organisms at 10,900 meters, 35,800 feet.
Oh my
The
God.
overwhelming majority of the organisms collected were simple, soft-shelled foraminifera, 432 species according to National Geographic. 85% of the specimens were organic, soft-shelled forams. This is unusual compared to samples of sediment from other deep-sea environments, where the percentage of organic walled foraminifera ranges from 5% to 20%. As small organisms with hard, calcareous shells have trouble growing at extreme depths because of the high solubility of calcium carbonate in the pressurized water. Scientists theorize that the preponderance of soft-shelled organisms in the Challenger Deep may have resulted from survivors of the biosphere present when the Challenger Deep was shallower than it is now.
Oh, what? So, okay. So, with hard, have trouble growing at extreme depths because of high, right. Because like it's gonna crush them. It's like a crush because you have a whole fucking mountain onto you. Scientists theorize that yeah, soft shells. So, okay. We have a question to this, and I think it's gonna be answered. But let me dive into the theory of it. think I think the reason why fish doesn't just missed. I think it's because like be, the reason why pressure, like there's an outward pressure. There's air inside something that makes water want to go into it. That is the pressure of it. What was it? Oh my goodness. The crab. I'm gonna warning for all the people who love crabs. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm going to show you what happens when you get just a good enough high pressure into something that is, oh
Or
my,
feel.
it is. So basically, this is. You feeling that, Mr. Krabs? So, okay. To properly explain this, this is like happening within like a few thousand feet under the sea. I would assume so. There's this pipe. I think it was like leaking, or they needed to cut into it, and this saw did it. And I'm seeing like maybe we're talking like a credit card size hole, all right? And there's pressure into it. There's water wanting to seep into it, and because it's like what was it when you basically you take a and next time you're like in like a deep piece of water, pull an open cup with the open face, and as soon as the surface of the water breaks over to the cup and starts flowing in, you feel that pressure of it being pulled into it. That's that pressure, right? Imagine what happens when you're 1,000 feet under it and you have all this weight of water pushing down onto something. That's what like creates that crushing sensation because water wants to get into it. So this when you have a credit card size hole in a hard shell crab, you know what I'm talking about when you go to buffets and shit. That stuff's hard to break. It'll cut you right back. All right? Get a load what happens to this thing.
A delta P situation as you dive near it. It grabs you suddenly, and it doesn't let go until the pressure is equalized. When it's got you, it's got.
Fucking yo. Fucking gone. That's what happens. That's a hard shell crab getting gone. Ooh, boy. I couldn't imagine. Like, oh man. So yeah. So, but since fish under there, like there's no air gaps within it. There's not like that crab. Now again, that crab was able to survive under that sea because I'm guessing the pressure equaled out. The amount of force, the amount of force that was pushing, or no, pushing down on the crab was equal of it going out, right? And so this would be better if I was doing this. So basically, yeah, both pressures equal out. But since that crab went near just a little slit like that, yeah, nah, that thing, and then gone, gone. I just like, oh boy, that is wild. We're definitely like, I want to see someone dive deeper and explain why, why that, why, but why though? Is it just because the pressure is the same?
Tectonic
Probably.
plates. The trench is one of the results of a large boundary where two oceanic tectonic plates have converged, collided. At the boundary, the western edge of the Pacific plate is subducted beneath the small Mariana plate. Because the Pacific plate is the largest of all the tectonic plates on Earth, crustal material at its western edge has had up to 170 million years to compact and become very dense.
Oh.
Hence its great height difference relative to the higher riding Mariana plate, at the point where the Pacific plate crust is subducted. This deep area is the Mariana Trench proper. The movement of these plates is also responsible for the formation of the Mariana Islands.
That is wild. And so, what is this? Okay, so like simple cell organisms within there. And again, that pressure equals out. So okay, let's figure out, and again, we got a lot of things into it. So then let's dive into the Challenger Deep. And I figured out a new thing on Wikipedia that allows us to do what we just need to do is it simplified things. Let's be honest, yeah, I know. I'm just like every time that happens, I just gotta and then come right back up. Okay, just gotta reset here. Okay. Whew. So basically, on Wikipedia, they have a simplified simplistic simplified. No, oh my God, Google, please help me. That's a word. Simplified. All right, cool. We got it. Simplified. Wikipedia has a simplified version of all their definitions. All you have to do is use simple. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. That hurt. That hurt me. Are you okay, students? Goodness. Like I said, we're all learning here. We're all learning here. Oh, there's no like I thought there was like a thing with Challenger Deep. What? Hold up. Challenger Deep. Okay. Wikipedia. Cool. All right. Now I'm going to take this and copy it. Is there a simple version of it? It might just go. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to the Mariana Trench. Okay, that's fine. Which is the deepest part. Okay, let's see what the complicated version gives us, okay? Brian.
Challenger Deep, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. The Challenger.
We'll dive into the intro part. This is telling me it's going to take a whole hour for us to figure that part out. So yeah,
The Challenger Deep is the deepest known point of the seabed in the Earth's hydrosphere, the oceans and seas, with a depth of 10,902 to 10,929 meters, 35,768 to 35,856 feet, by direct measurement from deep diving submersibles, remotely operated underwater vehicles, and benthic landers, and, sometimes, slightly more by sonar bathymetry. The Challenger Deep is located in the western Pacific Ocean, at the southern end of the Mariana Trench near the Mariana Islands group. According to the August 2011 version of the Jebco Gazetteer of Undersea Feature Names, the Challenger Deep is 10,920 meters. This location is in the ocean territory of the Federated States of Micronesia. The depression is named after the British Royal Navy survey ship HMS Challenger, whose expedition of 1872-1876 made.
Okay, I think yeah, we definitely topography, surveys. Yeah, this is just kind of giving us the record of what's going on here. Descents, crude descents, life forms. Okay. See, most organisms were supposed to hold an analysis of sediment samples collected. Okay. So, what the Mariana Trench has given us, we're also getting that from that end. Okay, cool. All right, then, yeah, I don't know. Let's go. Let's move right on. Let's move right along. Oh my God, there it is. My ship. My ship to get me there. To my mermaids. Oh my God. Mariana Trench, deepest ever sub dive finds plastic bag. Of course. When was this, Brian? Believe these sons of bitches. I wonder what brand. That would be hilarious if it was just like a Costco bag. Just like, damn it. That says it. There it is. All right, here, let's can we get reader's view on this? No, we want the pictures. The pictures are pretty. Here, let's get right up on that.
An American explorer has found plastic waste on the seafloor while breaking the record for the deepest ever dive.
Jesus.
Victor Vescovo descended nearly 11 kilometers.
Where was this? How long was this ago? This was a couple years ago? Okay.
Victor Vescovo descended nearly 11 kilometers, 7 miles, to the deepest place in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean's Mariana Trench. He spent 4 hours exploring the bottom of the trench in his submersible, built to withstand the immense pressure of the deep. Image caption: the explorers believe they have discovered 4 new species of. He spent 4 hours exploring the bottom of the trench in his submersible, built to withstand the immense pressure of the deep. He found sea creatures, but also found a plastic bag and sweet wrappers. It is the 3rd time humans have reached the ocean's extreme depths.
That is wild. Just a sandwich reached. Okay, here we go.
In total, Mr. Vescovo and his team made 5 dives to the bottom of the trench during the expedition. Robotic landers were also deployed to explore the remote terrain. Mr. Vescovo said, "It is almost indescribable how excited all of us are about achieving what we just did. This submarine and its mother ship, along with its extraordinarily talented expedition team, took marine technology to a ridiculously higher new level by diving, rapidly and repeatedly, into the deepest, harshest area of the ocean."
Ooh, they got a video.
Surface, LF, depth 109 or 28 meters.
Oh God, I wonder how annoying that must have been. As soon as the land, you had to wait for all that dust to settle.
Okay.
Mariana Trench.
Yeah. Are these the guys? No. These are like, this is an actual organization.
Okay, roger that. We'll go for a release.
Life support, good. Depth 109 or 28 meters.
Dave? Dave, you good? Dave? Hello? Like how, like, oh God. I guess like how fast would, no, because the pressure would immediately crush you. So I guess no, never mind. Back to it.
At bottom, repeat, at Bottom.
At the bottom? Yep.
Roger, LF. Understand you are on the bottom. Congratulations, Victor. Congratulations.
Reaching bottom and now. Congratulations, David. We're so excited. How you doing? How does it look over there, huh? Does it look amazing?
It looks great. It looks amazing. I love it so much. Of course, you know, it's a little dark.
I bet it is. That's great. All right. We're just going to easily push it forward, okay? All right.
Sounds good. All right, we're gonna be doing just fine. All right, hold up. We're just getting a little moaning and groaning over here.
And stuff. Don't worry, bud. Don't worry. That thing will withstand it.
I, there's a leak. There's a leak.
There's a what?
There's a leak. No, there's moaning. I can hear more.
Like, oh shit. Just stay safe, man. No, I think it's gonna crush me.
I think it's gonna crush me. Oh God. I feel so.
Round two. We gotta retrieve it. That's like $1 million down there. Round two. Shit. Oh shit. Couldn't imagine that. Like what would happen if that thing like just failed? I couldn't. Oh my gosh, it'd be terrifying. Couldn't imagine it. Oh my gosh.
Well done. Beginning exploration of the bottom.
Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, welcome to the Mariana. That's right. We like to call her Mary. How does that not... That would be wild. Just like, oh no, go ahead. Go closer to that brand. What was it, huh? It looked like a Lay's potato chip, huh? It was probably one of those 750K fucking assholes that went down there. And just like, hey man, what's this? What's this? What's this? Fucking opens the shit. Oh, that would be awful. Oh man, I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine one bit of that going completely fine. It just wouldn't. You know, go mate. All right. That's wild shit. It's wild shit, mate. All right. Moving on. Let's see here. We got a few things. So, I think actually related to this, we have a Reddit post. Yep, related to this video. Let's see here. Let's see what people are talking about. Light has never touched these animals before. They are born in dark, molded by it. They never knew the light until they were already fish. Yeah. Just a lot of animals die after these depth seeders because of bright light. I'll have to find the article somewhere. While they are blinded, it seems not negative impact, most likely because the sight is not as important down there. I wouldn't know, just a shot in the dark, perhaps they're more adept to infrared and it could allow them to track heat sources. It's true. Could just be leftover original evolving in the shallower water. That is true. Shot in the dark. Is it possible that I'm wondering how they even figure that out? It's like they send another mission down to track the same creatures. If it were known, I presume the scientists doing these expeditions would find another way. Oh, right, okay. I'm just reading about this. You can find the article. Oh no, 5 animals died. Stop all exploring. Okay, this guy's an asshole. Mr. Born to Fuck. Watch Blue Planet 2. Truly deep sea crazy shit. Amazing episode. All right, cool. Oh, is this it? Wait, can we go to the original post? Okay, I wonder if creatures have down there evolved in the darkness or blinded by the light. I think there probably are. If you can close, if you look close, you could see that they appear to be revved up like a dude. Fuck off! God damn it! All right, yeah. There you go. There's Reddit. We're gonna dive into a little bit more Reddit around here. Those sons of bitches. Okay, yeah. Let's figure out. Like, we need some representation. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, y'all can see that, right? Don't worry. We can scale comparison at all times shown in comparison to the trench are at approximate 1-to-1 scale within 10 feet. That little dot right there, that's an elephant. That little blue whale and stuff like that, you know, the biggest creature in the whole freaking, I think like the biggest animal, right? Yeah, that big boy. Yeah, that big old boy. Yeah, no, he's an ant. All right. And look at that little, I don't know if you can even see it. It looks like I'm just highlighting nothing, but that's a human. And the world's largest ship, Nivis. All right. The tallest building in the fucking world in Dubai. This is what we're talking about. All right. Now let's figure out. Let's get the creepy music going. Yeah. Let's turn it down just a little bit. So, okay. 0 feet. The black dot is an approximate scale representing of a 6-foot tall person. 350 feet deep. Maximum diving depth of a blue whale, the largest known animal on Earth. Large in the size full-grown adult represented on scale. 1,250 feet. Height of the Empire State Building. If you were to drop a whole skyscraper into the Mariana Trench, it would be covered with the water at this point. 3,280 feet. After this point, light can no longer penetrate the water. We have hit our first mile under sea. 82,000 feet, 1.6 miles underwater maximum diving depth. A sperm whale, the deepest diving animal. Actually, I'll just say technically not true because we do have, well, I guess mammals. Animal. Hannibal. Cannibal. Okay, never mind then. Continue on, good sir. Over 12,000 feet. The wreck of RMS Titanic in 2 pieces. Too soon. 13,000 feet. The beginning of the abyssal zone. We're talking like D&D terms here now. The water pressure at this level around 11,000 pounds per square inch. Strange, frightening-looking creatures inhabit these depths, such as the fangtooth, the flashlight fish, and the anglerfish. 15,000 feet, diving depth of Alvin the submersible. 15,700 feet, the wreck of the battleship Bismarck. We're like at the halfway point, the Hadal zone. Pressure level reached 16,000 pounds per square inch, over 1,100 times the amount of pressure on the surface. Although sparse life exists at this level. 29,000 feet, height of the Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. Oh, Oh, fuck that. Oh, do you see that? Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Oh, fuck you. Average cruising altitude of the commercial airliner. For those that have viewed the height of an airplane window, let this be a scale reference. Oh my god. The Challenger Deep, the lowest known point in the ocean. It is believed there are lower undiscovered points, as only around 10,000 of the 10% of the ocean has been mapped. Y'all see Cthulhu right here, motherfucker? Oh my god. Ooh, we're just gonna. Oh, daddy. Yeah, same here, Joe Woman. What's lived down there, huh? Ah! Oh, hell no. Ugh. Oh my god, look at it. He's looking at just like, that thing is looking like, just kill me, please. I am under pain. Well, I was eating lunch. Ooh, boy. Well, damn. Well, I'm good now. You know what? How about we just call it a day, students? You know, let's wrap it up. You know? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's what was it? With how crazy and deep this, hold up. I just like, so view out of a airplane window. Fuck me. Let's see here. View from 30,000 feet. That's from 3,000. Like, no, I want. Holy shit. You're telling me, like, you're, and like, we're already maybe 1,000 foot down. Like, holy shit. I mean, I didn't really need this part, but I guess, like, thank you. Look at that. You're like swimming. You're just chilling and swimming, clear as day, and you look down, that's what you see. Nah, homie. I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm gonna head on out. Holy shit. All right. Fuck. What else you got? Homie, I actually have to pee. All right, give me a break here. All right, we've been diving a lot into this hour. Give me a second, okay? Oh boy, I gotta go. I gotta go pay for a second. All right. Fucking B. Holy shit. All right. 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 Of course. Right when I wanted to do this too. Like right when I'm about to get live. Look at that. I shit myself and the camera did. Hold up. Give me a second here. Jesus Christ. That's what happens here on the show. We're always getting tested. Tested by so many things. The hell? Hold up. Damn it. Y'all seeing this shit? The hell's happening? All right, cool. Camera, it's gonna be your last days. I'm gonna kick your ass. All right, yeah. Ah, damn it. Hold up. Damn it. Yeah, you like that? Ah. All right, you son of a bitch. How about that? Yeah. Huh? Huh? What's up? What's good? Would you want some more, homie, or what's good? The hell's actually happening? Well, students, I think we have been bamboozled or something. I'm like trying to figure out the hell's happening here. Oh shit. I think we got it. Yeah, but now it looks like shit. Hold up. La-di-da-di-da. I know your ass doesn't look like that. Hold up. Let me activate it again. Come on. There it is. All right. Oh, shit. Okay. Cool. We're back at it. All right. Damn. That's right, camera. Better get your ass together. All right, enough of this. I'm sick and tired of walking around acting like nothing's happening. Mariana ain't got shit on me now. You got that? You may be the deepest son of a bitch, but I'm the toughest one, alright? You got that? Mariana? You come here, you better come collect, son of a bitch. That's the truth. Yeah. Damn. All right now. Whew. Let's get right back to it. And let's not screw it. I'm going to tell you what. All right. So, what other beautiful things that we could figure out on our date on the stream? Do. Let's see. Okay, we got multiple things talking about the trench. Oh, yes. Okay, here's the Reddit. Here's the piece of the Reddit part that I wanted to get into, of basically creatures living in the abyss of the Mariana Trench. So we got this wonderful update I will be doing Friday. Thanks for the Reddit gold lens. All right. Mr. Dr. Craig, MC. We will require intelligence. Oh, hold up. Brian. Tell us who you are. Dr. Craig, MC.
I am a deep-sea biologist and the chief editor for deepseanews.com. I am long-time lurker and on Reddit and just formed my account recently. I have only commented a few times but thought I could add some information here. Pyalord offers up a great assortment of deep-sea life. Some of these are indeed abyssal. A species has a depth greater than 4,000 meters. However, none of these are found at the bottom of Marianas Trench at 10,911 meters. The deepest known fish was a snailfish at 7,700 meters. What is known from the bottom of Marianas Trench is microbial life. In 1997, a species of the common bacteria Pseudomonas was discovered from 11,000 meters deep. In 1998, Japanese researchers using the remotely operated vehicle Keiko found evidence of two barophilic, pressure-loving as you would expect from trench critters, bacteria. Both bacteria species were from completely different groups. In 2006, Japanese researchers hit a biological goldmine of microbes. Actinobacteria, non-extremophilic bacteria, three major groups of extremophilic bacteria, fungi. And how the reports of new microbial species just keep coming, and coming, and coming, and coming, and coming, and coming in. Indeed, microbial activity is shockingly high. Even for those of us expecting it. Foraminifera, amoeboid protists vital for nutrient cycling in the oceans, also exist at the greatest depths of the Marianas Trench. Multicellular life is also known from the Marianas Trench. From even the earliest explorations, the large crustacean, the amphipod Hirondelliohegus, was observed. Scientists have even isolated bacteria from its body. Indeed, larger organisms have been found at the bottom of several trenches.
But like we saw it though. We saw it like in the video. What's so the plastic bag? What was the fish that they saw? Yeah, come on now.
The longest anyone.
It's the longest everybody's been there. I saw a rock. Yeah. Arrow tooth eel. All right, let's. Hold up. Yeah, no, let's hold up. No. I think what will answer this is our QRO. Could Megalodon. Trench is a good idea. No food supply large enough. That's true. Absolutely not. First of all, there would be more than a megalodon for them to survive. Yes. No. So what? I mean, like, are there fish? I mean, yes, there are, but like, are there fish in the Mariana Trench? Like, I want to know, but the Mariana snailfish. So, okay, what the fuck? Like, there's literally, yeah, formally documented a new species of snailfish. The deepest fish ever caught in the Mariana Trench. Like, I'm seeing the floor here. Seen elephant standing on its head. Okay, so I guess, like, they're, like, you can't, in the Mariana Trench, 7,000 meters below the surface, these meters. Okay. A crushing pressure reaches. Okay, then. So what's good? Like, can these fishies survive the depths, or is it kind of like what's going on, Daddy? Let's get the reader. There we go. All right.
At the deepest point in the ocean lives a fish that is pink, slimy, and looks a bit like an oversized tadpole, up to a foot long. In the Mariana
funny to
Trench
roast
7,000 meters below the ocean's surface, these fish makes a living in total darkness and at crushing pressures that can reach 1,000 times more than at sea level. But the Mariana snailfish is not only abundant in this area, it's the region's top predator. How does an animal make a living in such an extreme place? See how the Mariana Trench became Earth's deepest point. New research provides clues. In a study published in Nature Ecology and Evolution, Chinese researchers examined the anatomy and genetics of the fish. The team picked up specimens from around 23,000 feet below sea level using remotely operated landers, and analyzed the creature's genes, proteins, and anatomy. See how some deep-sea fish blend in with the darkness. They found a few peculiarities. For one, the fish have gaps in their skulls. First author Kun Wang, from the Northwestern Polytechnical University, says this may help the internal and external pressures to be balanced. In other words, if the fish had a complete and fused skull, it would be crushed by the pressure. What's more, their bones...
Oh, because there would be air inside the skull, just like what I said. So, okay, yeah.
What's more, their bones are not entirely made of, well, bone but are largely cartilage. In fact, the team found that the fish have a mutation in the primary gene responsible for calcification, the buildup of calcium to harden the bones.
Wait. So, if their body's mainly all cartilage, a shark is all cartilage. Could a shark go in the Mariana Trench?
This mutation renders the gene partially non-functional. Wang says this makes their bones more flexible and likely more able to withstand pressure. Such high pressures can also break down proteins, which are important for normal physiological processes. The team found that the fish have high levels of a substance called trimethylamine N oxide, TMAO, which is used to stabilize proteins. Most animals have one copy of these gene, while these fish have 5. Even moving chemicals into and out of cells can be difficult at these high pressures. The Mariana snailfish makes up for this by producing high numbers of proteins that transport necessary substances.
My dude, drinking the shake. I see you. What you got, huh? Way? Huh? You bulking? You bulking, bro? What's up? What's your workout regimen, huh? I see you dealing with a lot of weights there, huh? There, bro. What's good, homie, huh? Bumping a lot of fucking iron there, bro. That's wild. So
Finally, the fish lack functional eyes and did not respond to the lights of the team's lander, consistent with previous research. That's likely because these creatures lack several key photoreceptor genes, the study found. Since they live in complete darkness, there's no need to be able to detect light they'll never see. A fire lookout shares the view from her mount eye. Even in bad fire years, there's a rhythm to the days, writes Karen Reeves from... Yes, I would like to receive updates, special offers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, hot damn. So, okay, so there is equaling of pressure. Okay, cool. That answers a good amount of questions on my end, at least just like how these little guys can get right to it. Oh, yeah. So, I get... Okay, this is like kind of... This is going to be like a little bit of a heavy... creatures living in the abyss. What the... Oh, yeah, no, I think I already saw it. Yeah. Blech, no, we're good. So, okay. So we went over to Stack Exchange, and I'm curious, because I saw this question. So they found the following information on Wikipedia. The temperature is 1 to 4 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is about 0.15 GPa. The graph tells us that...
The graph tells us that it's liquid. However, I don't quite understand why the temperature is not below 0 degrees C. 0 degrees C. Light is unable to reach these depths and thus unable to transfer heat. My reasoning is that eventually particles with higher kinetic energy will have risen due to convection, lowering the temperature below 0 degrees C. 0 degrees C, resulting in freezing the water.
Okay. Freezing point. Boiling point. Because of how much it goes. The ground could be hot at places due to magma, but let's suppose be more general. Okay, so let's see.
You are basically asking why water does not freeze at the bottom of the trench. It is basically because of two reasons. It is very important to understand the difference between sweet and salt water. We are talking about salt water here, and the freezing point, phase change, is below 0 C, at around 2 C. This takes your question as to why water at the bottom of the trench cannot reach 2 C. You are asking about the bottom of the trench, where the water is in direct contact with the ground. To reach freezing, phase change, the ground would need to have the same, or even colder, 2 C. In reality, because of geothermal energy, the ground is way warmer than that.
Oh, well, there you go. We didn't even, like, I don't even understand the initial question. I'll be completely fucking honest. But hey, there you go. Didn't even know about the freezing point. Didn't even know about the fucking pressure, and like the ground has to be equal amount to that. So shit, there you go. Okay. Now, what was it? So benzene, the organic compound that enables industrialization, have unintended long-lasting consequences on the planet's life. How the benzene tree populated the world. Now, okay, I'm gonna try to dive into this article because this seems interesting. Okay, this is back in 2017. During the 19th, early 20th century, trees became something of a meme in the field of organic chemistry. From fire, coal, gas, coke amino, coal tar, benzene, fun. That's a pretty cool fucking poster. So, but it had to deal with the Mariana Trench on just how certain. Well, I honestly don't know. So I'm super curious on just how this is involved with it. We might actually learn something here. I do not know. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Let's see how long the read is. Really? You can't even give me like a read? Like, what's up? Oh, yeah, we're still in settings. No, this is it. You can't even tell me how long the read's going to be? Is it that long? No. All right. Okay. Let's continue with this. Do.
Deep in the Mariana Trench, at depths lower than the Rockies are high, rests a tin of reduced sodium spam. NOAA scientists caught sight of it last year near the mouth of the Marianas Sirena Deep. It isn't an isolated incursion, but it was nevertheless startling, the sight of those timeless golden letters bright against the deep ocean bottom. Shortly after came news from another team of scientists who had found in the Mariana an innovation less familiar than shelf-stable meat, but far more significant. In the bodies of deep-dwelling creatures were found traces of industrial chemicals responsible for the rise of modern America polychlorinated biphenyls. In the bodies of deep-dwelling creatures were found traces of industrial chemicals responsible for the rise of modern America polychlorinated biphenyls.
Oh, great.
PCBs had been detected in Hirondelia higus, tiny shrimp-like amphipods scooped up by deep-water trawlers. Results from the expedition, led by Newcastle University's Hadal Zone expert Alan Jamieson, were preliminarily released last year and then published in February. PCBs have been found the world over, from the bed of the Hudson River to the fat of polar bears roaming the high Arctic, but never before in the creatures of the extreme deep,
Holy
a bioregion about which science knows relatively little. How PCBs reached the Mariana is still under investigation. Jamieson and colleagues speculated on multiple, regional sources: a nearby military base, the industrial corridors along the Asian coastline, and the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, where PCBs glom onto plastic particles caught in the current. Over time, the plastic degrades and descends into the depths, ferrying PCBs with them. But the true origin of PCBs lies in another time and place, in Depression-era Alabama, and before that, 19th century Germany at the pinnacle of German
Oh,
chemistry.
shit.
PCB production began in late 1929 in a factory east of Birmingham. The same era that gave us New York's Chrysler Building, the little engine that could, and eventually Spam brought mass-made PCBs to market. General Electric and Westinghouse were early adopters. Both firms formulated PCBs into dielectric fluids. The insulate.
Oh my god. Sorry, I looked at this fucking thing. I don't even know what that is. Holy shit. Please,
Both
let's
firms
continue that.
formulated PCBs into dielectric fluids, the insulating liquids added to capacitors and other electrical components to keep them cool and to prevent fires. With PCB's aid, the electric grid spread from the industrialized north into the rural regions of the Deep South and the American West. By mid-century, PCBs had a bird's-eye view of any block in America with a utility pole and PCB-bathed transformer. Soon PCBs were added to paints, caulks, plastics, even floor finishes and dish detergents.
Shit.
They were branded, and assigned names like Aracla. That commercial products contained PCBs was never advertised, explained Ellen Griffith Spears, who wrote the definitive book on PCB's genesis. PCBs slipped into the world, becoming ubiquitous while remaining anonymous. Until the mid-1960s, when the Danish-born scientist Søren Jensen detected PCBs in the bodies of pike taken from the waters off Sweden. In the wake of Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, published in 1962, Jensen had been dispatched to look for DDT, one of the post-World War II pesticides whose increasing use Carson's book had questioned. Jensen found DDT, but his data also signaled the presence of unexpected, yet chemically similar, contaminants. It took 2 years to determine the ghosts in his data were PCBs. After that, everywhere Jensen thought to look, he found their fingerprints, in the feathers of archived white-tailed eagles, and in hair plucked from his own head, and others sampled from his wife and infant daughter. His conclusions, published in 1966, instigated a global investigation into the fate and toxicity of PCBs, research now carried forward, and into the deep oceans, by Jamieson and colleagues. Today, PCBs are well-characterized pollutants, toxic, extremely persistent, and pervasive. All 209 variations of PCBs are known carcinogens. PCBs can alter liver function, and they can interfere with how humans reproduce, develop, think, and mount an immune response. Based on their cancer-causing potential alone, Congress voted to end American.
You're telling me that PCB can affect how my balls? They can affect right? Oh, hell no. We gotta destroy this. This is a terrorist on the balls, PCB. Plastic counter ball separation. That's what PCB sounds to me.
Based on their cancer-causing potential alone, Congress voted to end American production in 1976 by attaching an amendment to the Toxic Substances Control Act, TSCA. To SCA, as the law was called, gave the fledgling Environmental Protection Agency, created 6 years earlier, the authority to regulate industrial chemicals. PCBs were the only class of chemicals called out by TSCA, about 60,000 others were grandfathered, meaning their use was never questioned. Another 3 years passed before Congress's limits on PCB production took effect. 4 decades later, though banned, PCBs live on, including in tiny amphipods swimming in some of the deepest waters of Earth's biggest ocean.
Holy shit.
PCBs, now endemic to environments everywhere, belong to a class of chemicals called, depending on the era, halocarbons, organohalogens, or halogenated organic compounds. Organic, in this instance, refers not to foods raised without chemicals but to compounds made with carbon. Halo or halogen signifies the presence of one or more of the halogen elements, the most familiar being chlorine, bromine, and fluorine. From these starting materials, chemists can make an array of compounds. But so can nature. To date, there are more than 5,000 so-called biogenic or naturally occurring organohalogens. Nature's versions are forged in volcanoes or near deep-sea vents where temperatures run high, and chlorine and bromine are abundant. Organisms in all kingdoms can make halocarbons, though in minute quantities and typically for highly specialized purposes such as self-defense or signaling mates. There are many pathways to making such complex molecules. The Iowa atmospheric chemist Scott Spack keeps a running tally of the recipes that might yield a PCB. While there are no known analogues in nature, one does get to wondering whether nature at some point, somewhere on the planet or deep in the cosmos, could have served up the right mix of raw materials in the right order and under the right conditions to allow for PCB's spontaneous formation. It is conceivable, Spack concedes, though purely hypothetical. Such a discovery, should it even occur, wouldn't explain PCB's global dispersion, nor absolve what humans made with impunity. But it does hint at the complexity of Earth's chemistry, and the humility with which we still endeavor to understand it.
Yeah, there's still like so much that you don't know that you could try to theorize. It's like you're trying to throw like what ifism at it, and it's like, we know it's true. Fuck. So there's just like little pieces of PCB all around
Into
us,
intricate
I guess.
ecological and biological systems, human industry introduced PCBs in extraordinary volumes, and in evolutionary terms, rapidly over the span of 3 or 4 human generations, said Spack. But the problem isn't so much that PCBs are unnatural, though one could make that argument. It is that they are molecules nature recognized, familiar enough to be folded into its systems and to confuse them. Human biology has not adapted to their presence. Species far older than us, microbes mostly, have evolved over millennia to coexist with, and even to synthesize and break down, specific types of biogenic halocarbons. Some strains of bacteria are capable of disassembling PCBs. Other species, such as the Atlantic tomcode, bottom feeders in the Hudson, have even developed a genetic variation that allows for survival in PCB-polluted waters, though their livers are also loaded with the chemicals. But for humans, research tracking the health effects of industrial PCB exposures, Spack said, is tantamount to watching evolutionary consequences playing out in real time. While sunlight, and some microorganisms, break down PCBs over time, they can be stunningly stable when stored in sediment, glaciers and other so-called sinks like the deep ocean. And because PCBs are lipophilic, or fat-loving, they can also accumulate in the fatty tissue of marine life, and in the bodies of mammals like us. Depending on the total load, some measure of PCBs can last a lifetime, or pass between generations through cord blood or milk. The chemistry that enabled humankind to engineer elements into such durable molecules and enduring pollutant states to the early 19th century, to a time when the natural world was the chemist's muse. As chemistry industrialized, chemists were drawn by profit, and later, into geopolitics.
Oh shit. Okay. I think like that's as much as that we can at least dive into. It tells more and more about the part was invented. Fruit was a giant, it soared through the clouds. Oh shit. Okay. A lump of coal. I think this just dives deeper into like what exactly, like where the chemicals that came in and brought it and broke it down, which again, that's understandable, but it's just like, damn. Oh shit. And they were able to find that shit. I mean, like they found the plastic bag. Didn't know they were going to find this shit. Oh my gosh. Hot diggity damn, everybody. All right, let's get into some weird questions from Curoro. If someone were to use a submarine to get to the Mariana Trench, what would happen if they were to put on a scuba gear and leave the submarine? Would they be crushed by the pressure? I love the curiosity, my friend. Love the curiosity. All right, I mean, we can just go back to Mr. Crab and just see how that went. Now let's go ahead.
Leaving would require some sort of pressure equalization, e.g. starting surrounded by water at the same pressure as the air part of the sub. However, once you increase the water pressure to only 2,000 meters or so, your scuba will stop working. In fact, long before that you will breathe the tank down, even assuming you can breathe air that dense. From that point onwards you'll compress just the same as any other bag of mostly watery air, few percent. Any noticeable crushing would just be your lungs losing their residual volume of a liter or two. Somehow open a door between air and water down there and the directional jet will do immense damage but sink down from the surface like a dead whale, and you'll hit the bottom in the same human shape you always were, as does the dead whale.
Oh, so yeah, it would just fill you up. It would just immediately fill you up. So there's no like gush pressure. I'm guessing like it would just force like all of the blood out of you, and then you would just sink down towards that. At least that's how I would understand it. So it would just fill. It'll just fill you up. All right. You know what? What we haven't touched up yet? YouTube. What other parts of the Marina Trench? In pursuit of the abyss. Challenger deep. Ooh, bright side. What would a trip to Mariana Trench be like? See, we don't even have to spend $750,000. We just watch a bright side video. And they'll explain perfectly. Let's get it.
Hey, have you ever wanted to take a dive into the deepest parts of the ocean?
Oh my God, yes.
Well, today, you're going to have this opportunity.
You got $750,000 or a small loan of $2.7 million?
Now, how good are you at holding your breath? Not
Perfect.
that good? Well, not to worry. Hop aboard my submersible craft and join me in the voyage to the depths.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ready? Ooh, let's dive.
Let's get it.
Right now, just below the surface, you see that life is thriving here. Fish and marine animals abound, and hey there, swimmers are waving at us. But we won't be staying here for long. Bye-bye.
Woo!
At 65 feet, there's a whole new world opening before your eyes.
Whoa.
Shallow coral reefs are standing beautifully not far from the shore. And hey, there are people here again. It's scuba divers this time, though. Water pressure isn't kind to divers without special equipment.
Right.
130 feet is the depths where we say goodbye even to recreational scuba divers. It's the maximum allowed for them. Take care, guys. 200 feet, and here's the first orca. These whales inhabit the relatively shallow waters of almost every sea and ocean in the world. Did you know that they're the apex predators, by the way? It means they have no natural enemies, and
Yeah, they fucking destroy everything. They're actually assholes, if you really think about it. Killer whales are assholes. You think sharks are awful? No, killer whales are just jackasses.
no one can take them down. At 230 feet, we meet whale sharks, the largest known fish species, weighing up to 60 tons.
Hey-o.
And they're also quite long livers. Well, yeah, I guess their livers are long at that, but actually it's about their life expectancy. They can live about 130 years.
Oh, shit.
Now, look outside. If you're a scuba diver, it's a real pro. Because at 330 feet, they'll have to be very cautious not to get decompression sickness. It occurs if you rise too quickly to the surface. And if you're lucky, you can also see a giant Pacific octopus. It dwells in cool water starting this deep and going down as far as 6,600 feet.
Hell no.
And now, we're entering the dark part of the ocean. At 490 feet, just 1% of the light from the surface reaches us. All the rest is absorbed by water. Everything that's deeper will get darker and darker still. Oh look! At about 660 feet, there's a giant oarfish circling our submersible. These creatures are believed to be the source of all sea serpent sightings and also a lot of alliteration. Sometimes they swim up to the surface and freak out sailors and swimmers. No wonder. These fish can reach 36 feet in length, enough to scare the heck out of me, for example.
Shit.
Okay, now we're at 980 feet. And wait, what's that huge and gangling thing out there? Oh, I get it. It's a Japanese spider crab.
Oh, hell
Why
no.
a spider, you ask? Well, just look at those legs and the answer will come to you without further prompts. By the way, There's almost nothing more to them than legs. The body of such a crab is normally just 1.5 feet across. Going deeper now,
I'm
and
sorry, did you just say the fucking body was only a foot across? Oh, hell no. You know what? We don't need to explore the ocean. We
at
don't.
1,640 feet, you're going to see the last of the blue whales. No, not really the last of them. I mean, that's the deepest they can swim. They don't really need to dive that deep for food, which they have in abundance in shallower waters, but they still can. I guess it's just for the sake of showing how awesome they are. After all, they're the largest creatures in the history of Earth, both in the sea and on land. Shh, you hear this? These are the sounds fin whales are making to talk to their friends many miles away. They can do this thanks to the SOFAR channel, or deep sea channel, that
How annoying. How much of a delay do you have to deal with? Do you hit up a whale buddy? Just like, hey! Hey! Fuck that. Yeah, I know we had a nice conversation. Yeah, it took about 2 months to finish, but hey, say hey to him.
generally starts at 1,970 feet, but can vary in depth. It's a layer of water where the speed of sound is at its minimum and sound waves can go thousands of miles before disappearing. At the depth of 2,723 feet, we have reached the point where the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, would not even show its tip on the surface if it were put underwater. Now we're entering the really interesting part of the ocean, where no sunlight reaches us and strange creatures dwell. One of those is the giant squid, yes, that legendary type. It inhabits the depths of 2,950 feet.
Oh,
Just
God.
imagine the creature with eyes the size of frisbees. Sperm whales hunt down these beasts, but they certainly can fight back. What a sight it would be to see such an encounter.
Nope.
And that's where pitch darkness finally falls on us, the midnight zone. The pressure here is so huge that if you somehow end up being here without a submersible, well, you'll simply be crushed in a couple of seconds. And that without seeing a thing too. Not the best of prospects. Anyway, at 3,600 feet, there's West Mata, one of the deepest ocean volcanoes in the world. Its last eruption was in 2009, and it was even filmed by a remotely operated vehicle. 4,200 feet down below, and we see the ferocious great white sharks.
See?
These ultimate predators feel great at such a depth. Their eyesight is rather poor, and they navigate by scent, so they really don't need sunlight to hunt down their prey. I don't see you, but I'll still eat you.
Oh, fuck that.
Also, the
Oh,
leatherback
hell no.
turtles, the largest turtles in the world, dive at the same depth.
Oh,
I
shit.
wonder if they do it to tease the great whites. Oh, see those huge nets? That's because we're now at the depth of 4,900 feet, where the catch-all fishing method is used. The nets are here to be dragged along the ocean floor, catching everything unfortunate enough to be caught. I'll let you decide how detrimental this is to the ocean life here. At
That's fucked
6,000 feet, if we were in the Grand Canyon, we'd be sitting at its lowest and deepest point. Imagine that all the crevasses have been thoroughly
Oh,
filled with
hell
water,
no.
and you'll get the perfect picture. Now, if we're really careful, then at the depth of 6,600 feet, we'll be able to see the black dragonfish, a nightmarish creature that dwells in the deep and dark parts of the ocean. And trust me, it's better off staying right here. It looks like something from a horror movie, and I'd rather it never cross my path. At 7,400 feet, we'll be saying goodbye to sperm whales. This is the deepest point they can dive, and frankly, they have no real business at such a depth. Maybe they hunt the black dragonfish, of course, or it hunts them? Nah, the difference in size is too big. Sperm whales can reach 62 feet in length, which makes them the largest toothed whales in the world.
Oh, wow.
Not many creatures can counter that. It's good that our submersible has a powerful floodlight. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to see the astonishing beauty of the deep-sea coral reefs located at the depth of 9,900 feet. They can be found in every ocean, and it's a pity they can't be seen without special deep-sea diving equipment. Okay, going deeper still, and at 12,100 feet, we reach the average depth of the world ocean. From now on, the
Oh.
journey into the real depths begins. The general ocean floor has been passed, so now it's time to delve into the abyss. I won't tell you not to be afraid because the scariest creatures of the deep dwell here, below the midnight zone. And it doesn't end there.
Why
The pressure
is
on the
that?
upper limit of the abyss at 13,100 feet is like a whole regiment of elephants stomping on you. Not that you'd have the time to feel it, though. Now,
Like-
at 15,000 feet, the monsters out of your worst nightmares pop up. Anglerfish, for example, will scare the heck out of anyone. Its long and crooked teeth, along with a growth on its head that lures the prey, is enough to instill fear even in the bravest. But perhaps even more terrible is the creature called the black swallower. It's an eel-like beast that has a very stretchy stomach, and it can swallow prey that's twice its size. I don't know about you, but I'd rather switch off the lights not to see anything this deep in the ocean. What? You want to see it all? All right, if you...
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What is that? Oh! Oh! Oh my god! That's what it is? Oh my god! Oh my god. Alright.
You insist. Look down below, and you're going to see the deepest shipwreck ever found. SS Rio Grande in the South Atlantic sunk in 1941 and went as low as 18,900 feet. No wonder it was only found 55 years later. And now the deepest and darkest part of the ocean begins. We're diving into the Mariana Trench. Officially, it begins at about 19,700 feet deep. It's both the least explored and the most fascinating area for the scientists and adventurers
Oh,
alike.
it begins at
What
19,000
lies at the
feet.
bottom of it? Well, we're about to see. But while we're not there yet, I'll show you something else. For example, here's the deepest fish ever found. It's called a snailfish, and it dwells at 26,000 feet. Its body is translucent, so you can actually see right through its skin. Well, I must say I'm glad we didn't turn off the lights after all. This little guy is surprisingly cute for a creature that can withstand such pressure. Going lower and deeper, you won't see any other kind of fish or vertebrate animal whatsoever. The pressure is just too much for such creatures. But there are shrimps and other invertebrates, not to mention microbes, that can dwell even in the deepest part of the ocean.
Damn.
And that part is the Challenger Deep. It's the bottom of the Mariana Trench, and its depth is 35,853 feet. Yes, we've arrived at the very bottom of the Earth. Few people have been here, and very little is known about it yet. But scientists aren't going to stop, and there's hope we'll soon find out what secrets the depths of the ocean hold. Hey, if you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go deep diving just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out.
I know, Brightside, you're amazing. I absolutely love you on that. Holy shit, people. Just so much shit. All the shit. If you throw a steel ball into Marina Trench. Wide planes over the fly. Strange things found at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. How deep is ocean in reality? Fuck off. Oh my god. All this stuff is like, it's just like churning. Oh my god, I can't. The ocean is so fucking terrifying. Oh. Like this was all fun and good when it was just words. I guess so, yeah. What happens when you throw a steel ball at the
There
Mariana
are
Trench?
many cool places on our planet where you can conduct strange experiments. For example, you could fry pancakes in the Sahara, play a game of basketball on Mount Everest,
What?
fly a kite in Antarctica, or
Yeah.
drop a steel ball into the Mariana Trench. They say that this task is given to some students, but this seemed really interesting to me, and I decided to conduct my own scientific research. Theoretically speaking, of course. It's not easy to get to the Mariana Trench, and littering it with steel balls is not such a good idea.
You can literally pay $750,000 to actually go to the bottom. So, don't know what you're talking about.
I wouldn't recommend doing this. So, in order to solve this unusual problem, it's necessary to clarify some conditions. For starters, we'll deal with the trench itself. We study the situation. The Mariana Trench is the deepest ocean trench on Earth, known to mankind anyway. It's easy to find in satellite pictures without the help of Google. This is the Pacific Ocean. Here are the Mariana Islands and a huge crescent moon in the water. See? The Mariana Trench itself has a deepest point called Challenger Deep. 10,994 meters, or 36,069 feet below sea level, plus or minus a little more.
Hot damn.
This is just unreal depth. For the first time, the crew of the HMS Challenger sailing ship discovered this place in 1875 and even tried to measure the depth. It didn't work out very well.
Cotton. Cotton. Yes. Yes. All right. Did you send it down? We've been here for over 5 hours. So yes, sir. We used it. And did it, come on now. Tell me what the measurement was. Will, yeah, we need more rope. The hell did you say to me, boy? Well, Cotton, we need more rope. Well, go down to the cellars and get more rope. No, we use the cellar rope. Use the cannon rope. We use the cannon rope. Take off the sails and tie the sir. We used all the rope. Well, but we have so much rope. I know, sir. We still need more rope. My God. Like, what? I'm just like I'm more interested on just what, like, so what? Are you talking about like a ship just filled with rope or chain and stuff? Like, how long was the chain? And so I'm actually kind of curious on that. Like, how did they measure it? How did what was it called again? The HMS Challenger made the first recording. I want to figure out the depths of that. How did Monroe first traveled south to England and then around the Cape of Good? I want, like, yeah, we're diving into the specifics here because I'm super curious on what in the world, like, who in the world did this? What made people want to do this? All right, okay. The beautiful exhibit of, I guess, the fucking, like, the Challenger Deep folk. The deepest the Challenger.
Modern oceanography. The Challenger expedition. Modern oceanography began with the Challenger expedition between 1872 and 1876. It was the first expedition organized specifically to gather data on a wide range of ocean features, including ocean temperatures, seawater chemistry, currents, marine life, and the geology of the seafloor. For the expedition, HMS Challenger, a British Navy corvette, a small warship, was converted into the first dedicated oceanographic ship with its own laboratories, microscopes and other scientific equipment on board. The
Shit.
expedition was led by British naturalist John Murray and Scottish naturalist Charles Wyville Thompson. Thompson had previously dredged some curious creatures from the ocean depths in the North Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea, and these discoveries persuaded the British government to launch a worldwide expedition to explore the ocean depths. The Challenger expedition left Portsmouth, England, just before Christmas in 1872. The ship had many different types of samplers to grab rocks or mud from the ocean floor, and nets to capture animals from different levels in the ocean. Challenger also had different winches, mechanical engines used to lower and hoist sounding lines to measure how deep the ocean was.
Holy
At each
shit.
sampling station, the crew lowered trawls, nets and other samplers to different depths, from the surface to the seafloor, and then pulled them back on board loaded with animals or rocks. Challenger first traveled south from England to the South Atlantic, and then around the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa. It then headed across the wide and very rough seas of the southern Indian Ocean, crossing the Antarctic Circle, and then to Australia and New Zealand. After that, Challenger headed north to the Hawaiian Islands, and then south again around Cape Horn, at the southern tip of South America where the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans meet. After more exploration in the Atlantic, Challenger returned to England in May of 1876.
How the fuck, like, what? So, okay, and here's the statistics of some of the stuff here. So, fun facts about the HMS Challenger. It had expedition crew of 243. They had about 6 scientists, duration of expedition, 4 years, distance sailed 120, 68, over almost close to 69,000 miles. Number of sampling stations, 362. Number of depths soundings made, 492. Numbers of dredges taking? What are dredges? What are dredges? Hello. Dredges meaning. Oh, okay. So like, okay. Gotcha. 133. Numbers of new specimens of animals and plants discovered, 4,700. Holy shit. Wow. Okay.
Among the Challenger expedition's discoveries was one of the deepest parts of the ocean, the Mariana Trench in the western Pacific, where the seafloor is 26,850 feet, or more than 4 miles deep, 8,200 meters. The deepest place in all the oceans is near where the Challenger took its sounding. It is now called the Challenger Deep and it is 37,800 feet deep, 11,524 meters. The expedition also revealed the first broad outline of the shape of the ocean basin, including a rise in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that we now know as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Scientists compiled the first systematic plots of currents and temperatures in the oceans. The Challenger expedition's exciting discoveries encouraged other countries to take interest in the oceans and to mount their own expeditions.
Holy shit. Wow. So, but then, like, I guess, so how did the, I just want to know, like, how did they measure it? How did the HMS Challenger measure? Yeah. The depths of the match as part of the first global oceanographic cruise was recorded how using a weighed sounding rope. So these motherfuckers were carrying so much rope? Sounding rope in 19 using a weighted sounding rope. Oh, stop that. How is sound used to measure? Yeah. Here we go. The depths of So the weight is okay. A sounding line, a rope that has a weight attached is lowered over the side of the ship. Then the weight hits the seafloor. The line goes slack and is marked at the water's surface. The weight is pulled back up in the distance. The length equals the depth of the ocean. This method of seafloor mapping is very time consuming, especially the chart deep sea water. So you're telling me, like, so what? So how much? Yeah. So how much rope did the Challenger use? The ship also carried 180. Okay. Okay, here we go. The ship also carried 181 miles of Italian hemp rope that would be used to measure water depths and lower dredge. Challenger sounded, plunged the weight of the line in the water to determine how deep it was. Every few days, the Challenger sounded. When determined. Here, stop that, Brian.
Every few days, Challenger sounded, or plunged a weighted line into the water to determine how deep it was. They also recorded the ocean's temperature at various depths and dragged a weighted net with a 10-foot wide mouth across a patch of the ocean floor and hauled aboard the sea creatures and sediments it dredged up. Matkin wrote to his cousin, "When the dredge is hauled up, the scientists stand round in their shirt sleeves and commence overhauling the mud for fish, etc., and as soon as they get any, down they all go to dissect and pickle them in glass jars."
Humanity's first rogue rim. Okay, let's pay homage to the story of one of the most important expeditions in history. All right, let's get right into it. Let's do it. Let's finish off with the Challenger expedition.
We know more about the surface of the moon than about the ocean floor. Scientists estimate that 91% of life under the sea hasn't been discovered yet, and more than 80% of the ocean has never been explored. What we do know about the ocean makes it almost more mysterious. It's an alien landscape, complete with undersea mountain ranges and trenches deeper than Mount Everest is tall, home to a glorious nightmare carnival of weird, often glowing animals. And most of what we know has only come to light in the last 150 years. Starting with the expedition of HMS Challenger. From 1872 to 1876, the 200-foot-long warship was repurposed as a floating lab for the world's first large-scale oceanographic expedition, circumnavigating the globe and dredging up samples of never-before-seen creatures from the ocean floor. The Challenger explorers brought to light thousands of new species and revealed the oceans to be a place of startling depths and untold wonders. Scientists today still rely on the Challenger findings to study everything from seashells to climate change. Sampling another world. The Challenger expedition was inspired, in part, by that age-old motivation, to prove somebody wrong. In 1843, a naturalist named Edward Forbes posited that the number of species and individuals diminishes as we descend, pointing to a zero in the distribution of animal life as yet unvisited at depths below 1,800 feet. But several small expeditions hinted that he couldn't be right. HMS Lightning and the incredibly named HMS Porcupine found animals like clams, scallops, and corals at depths below Forbes' theoretical limit. In light of these discoveries, and perhaps spurred by telegraph companies' desire to create more undersea cables, the Royal Society of London for Improving Natural Knowledge approved a new, more thorough expedition, a 3-year trip around the globe to plumb the ocean's deepest basins, to ascertain the sea floor's physical and chemical characteristics and to figure out just how far into the ocean's depths life blooms. Challenger set sail 4 days before Christmas in 1872 out of Portsmouth on the southern coast of England. There were about 250 men on board, including 6 scientists, who the naval officers and crew nicknamed the Scientifics. Challenger was a small warship retrofitted for a scientific mission, 15 of her 17 guns were removed to make room for laboratories and equipment. Before they set sail, the ship's steward's assistant, a 19-year-old named Joe Matkin, wrote to his cousin, "All the scientific chaps are on board, and have been busy during the week stowing their gear away. There are some thousands of small airtight bottles, and little boxes about the size of Valentine boxes packed in iron tanks for keeping specimens in, insects, butterflies, mosses, plants, etc. There is a photographic room on the main deck, also a dissecting room for carving up bears, whales, etc. The ship also carried 181 miles of Italian hemp rope that would be used to measure the water's depth and lower dredges to the sea floor. Zoological laboratory on HMS Challenger. The Royal Society outfitted this laboratory with a small library, hundreds of miscellaneous scientific instrument and spirits of wine for preserving specimens. Credit, University of California, San Diego. Every few days, Challenger sounded, or plunged a weighted line into the water to determine how deep it was. They also recorded the ocean's temperature at various depths and dragged a weighted net with a 10-foot wide mouth across a patch of the ocean floor and hauled aboard the sea creatures and sediments it dredged up. Matkin wrote to his cousin, "When the dredge is hauled up, the scientists stand round in their shirt sleeves, and commence overhauling the mud for fish etc., and as soon as they get any, down they all go to dissect and pickle them in glass jars." The crew sometimes brought in impressive specimens. One drawing from the expedition shows the crew hauling aboard a large shark, while 2 of the ship's dogs watch warily.
How the fuck? That would be totally terrifying if you just pulled up. If you're just all yanking up some fucking large ass net and you're just like, shell, mud, shell, fucking great white. Just like pull up a shark. Scientists about to come in there, just like we have to measure up everything. Just fucking. I wonder if they like pulled up like a killer whale every once in a while.
Other times, though, the hauls were less exciting. The mud. Ye gods, imagine a cart full of whitish mud, filled with minutest shells, poured all wet and sticky and slimy onto some clean planks, wrote Sub-Lieutenant Lord George Campbell about the sediments dredged from the sea floor. In this the naturalists paddle and wade about, putting spadefuls in successively finer and finer sieves, till nothing remains but the minute shells. Read more.
Brutal.
Australian scientists dredged the deep sea floor. Here's what they found. Deep discoveries. They did this all the way around the world, from England to the North Atlantic and the Caribbean, down to Brazil and east to the southern tip of Africa. They dipped down within sight of Antarctic icebergs and then headed up, hugging Australia's southeast coast and making their way through Micronesia and Asia, then east across the Pacific, tracing South America and arriving back in England on May 24, 1876, 3.5 years after the journey's start. Halfway through the journey, in the spring of 1875, Challenger made one of its greatest discoveries, the Mariana Trench, containing the deepest point on Earth. The Mariana Trench is located near Guam, about 1,500 miles east of the Philippines. There, one of the Earth's tectonic plates slips under another, resulting in a 1,580-mile-long groove in the sea floor. At the lowest point Challenger recorded, the sea floor lay more than 5 miles below the water's surface. Later researchers would find that an even deeper point exists nearby, nearly 7 miles deep. The crew wasn't expecting the spot to be so deep. The first time they sent down a weight to measure the depth, they ran out of rope. When they sent down a thermometer, the glass cracked. At the time, the scientists named it Swire Deep after one of the ship's naval officers, though it's since been renamed the Challenger Deep.
That's hilarious. Just be like, no, it's gonna give the captain name. It's like, motherfucker, we were here for 5 motherfucking years, okay? Or 4 years, all right? All right, I had to spend Christmas for 4 years with you sons of bitches, okay? We left on the day before Christmas, okay? We're calling this son of a bitch a Challenger. Otherwise, there's gonna be a motherfucking mutiny. Yeah, they ran out of rope.
Today's scientists study the Mariana Trench to learn how tectonic plates shift and how plastic waste has reached even the remotest parts of the planet. All that work has its roots in the Challenger expedition. Crew members examining the contents of a haul on board the Challenger. Credit, Wikimedia Commons.
Oh, wow.
Oddly, for one of the greatest scientific achievements of the voyage, the team wrote relatively little about exploring the deepest part of the ocean. In the naturalist Henry
It's true.
Moseley's 520-page account of the expedition, he skips over the Mariana Trench entirely. All he says about that leg of the journey is that it was a most tedious voyage.
Oh, damn. That sucks. Oh, man. That's crazy. My dude was just like, it's all right. It's all right. All right. I think that's where, if you want to read more onto the Challenger, let's go ahead and read more onto it. I'll try to post it in the description here or something here. I'll try to post in the chat. Hopefully, maybe you guys be able to pop up and see it there. All right. Whew. Hot damn. Hot damn, everybody. Oh my goodness. We learned so much. Like a good amount. I didn't like, so they had 181 miles of rope. What is, okay, let me just I kind of want to see, what does 1 mile of rope look like? Like, you got any good images here? I mean, what? No one has I want to just see what a 1 miles of rope. Oh, someone pulling the rope here. Oh, this guy's able to pull the rope in 2 minutes. At least a mile of rope. I just want to see what the pile looks like, my dude. Oh, that's about it? Oh, wow. I thought, right? 1 mile rope pull? Oh, no, he has to pull it several times. So that pile there probably equals a certain amount of feet. So they probably had big round crates. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. All right. Well, hot damn. Hot diggity damn. I can't believe it. We had ourselves a damn good time today. I learned a lot. We learned so much. It was so exciting to figure out all this cool stuff. Oh man. I just couldn't imagine that. But hey. With the fish, how deep everything was, how the Challenger was able to discover that. By the way, the voyage stuff was super interesting. Oh my goodness. There's still so much more that's being discovered, and then the plastic waste that goes onto it. But damn. But hey, that is episode 4 of Let's Learn with Professor Void, the Mariana Trench. That was amazing. All right. Hey, on Thursday, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. It's gonna be a pretty long stream. I'm gonna be playing Disco Elysium and doing some pixel art afterwards, all right? So we're gonna have some good time. We're gonna have a good time, all right? But hey, all y'all on YouTube, you get the hell out of here. You all have a wonderful time. Let's protect the ocean, even the deepest, darkest parts, okay? Love you all. Later.